So I saw Domo talk in Singapore. He wears a mask in public, which again added to the beauty of that one-day conference. And yeah, he's well respected in this industry. And he's obviously at the forefront of this. Would you say at OrdinalsBot, you guys are probably on the cutting edge of BRC20?
Yeah, 100%.
And the utility, because you see everything and you're developing it and you're about to launch your own, maybe one of the very first proper utility tokens?
Yeah, exactly. So I think we're without a doubt one of the major builder groups in this ecosystem. And I think a lot of people like have built on our tooling, which is great. And there's a lot of great projects, like a lot of the early mints on Magic Eden have been done for our platform. So that's one of the biggest marketplaces, and they've been great partners of ours. Then famous DeFi apps like Alex have used our platform. And I think in terms of pushing out the future of BRC20, we're definitely aiming to be one of the thought leaders and groups that are working in a decentralized fashion to make this work. And so like some of those early DeFi platforms we mentioned on Ethereum, we'd like to think we'll end up becoming one of those early BRC20 powered DeFi ecosystems that hopefully can operate at a similar sort of scale, or maybe even bigger scale, because it's Bitcoin, right?
So that's exciting. You just said the D word, which is DeFi, whereas before it wasn't obvious your business model had any aspirations towards DeFi. You were a SaaS service where people could mint their own Ordis or their own BRC20 tokens. So I guess that's my next question is, what is the future of OrdinalsBot? What are you going to morph into? DeFi on Bitcoin was another hot topic at Satoshi Roundtable, but I haven't met anybody who's actually figured it out. The concept is incredible, especially if we talk about the ETF, and we can get to that. But if you've got institutions holding Bitcoin, institutions love yield-bearing instruments. I worked in banking for 15 years. That's why I'm very bullish on the Ethereum ETF, but that's got its own issues. What is the future of OrdinalsBot? Are you going to become a DeFi platform? Are you going to become all these other things?
Yeah, no, 100. So I guess, firstly, we want to push, I think what we've seen with Ordinals is the fact it's on Bitcoin layer 1 really resonates with people, right? And I think you see that in other blockchain ecosystems. So in Ethereum layer 1 is still king, right? So even though one of the flip sides of that is the nature of layer 1 blockchains is they're always very expensive. The fee market is always going to be worse than scaling solutions, the so-called layer 2s. So I think most of our next steps at OrdinalsBot are very much pushing forward all of the functionality you can do on layer 1 Bitcoin. But I think inevitably what the success of Ordinals is turbocharged is actually all of the layer 2 solutions, right? And there's any number of these groups looking at going, how do you do the things that make, I guess, true DeFi possible, right? Like the automated market makers that people have grown used to, and other blockchain ecosystems, all these kind of things. They are accessible on Bitcoin layer 2s, but it's still very, very early stage for that. Our next strategic step on that is with the launch of our token Trio. We're also launching our marketplace Trio as well. So the marketplace will be the same as the token. And what's cool about Bitcoin is, although on layer 1 Bitcoin there aren't any smart contracts, so the smart contract makes some of the elements of DeFi easier. Bitcoin also has some very interesting traits that make another form of DeFi possible, right? So effectively, Bitcoin has an open order book. So you can, like what we've developed with our marketplace is anyone can spin up that marketplace and it can trade, and this is just natively to layer one. Like we've got various clients, like our client Trevor Owens at Ninja Alerts, for instance. He wants to build a marketplace, and we can have our own web page marketplace, and he can build his own website marketplace. But because of the nature of Bitcoin, one transaction over here will also could have its fill on our marketplace over there. So you get effectively many sort of web pages interacting with Bitcoin all at once, and the transaction happens right away. So I think that's going to be quite a cool native Bitcoin thing that's happening. Also, what I love about trading on Bitcoin and ordinals is you have the so-called partially signed Bitcoin transactions, right? Yeah. PSBTs. And what's really cool about that is in Ethereum, you can press a button and try and have your order go through, spend $100 on gas fees, and not get your fill because the order failed. In Bitcoin, you basically, due to the way that partially signed Bitcoin transactions work, you can order something, and only if you get your fill in trading terms or get the item, do you actually get charged any money at all, right? So there's elements of DeFi already baked into Bitcoin layer one, and then you'll have a war between these different scaling solutions, and all of the technologists will have to figure out how they get Bitcoin layer two to interact with ordinals, but that will come.
So you're super bullish. Do you think the tech is there to make this happen?
100%. Yeah, it's inevitable, right? Like the tech isn't necessarily built, but like I think what we've seen very credibly with ordinals and very credibly with every crypto ecosystem is, even though the tech isn't always there day one to service something, it gets built. People find workarounds, and the way and there is kind of a protocol standard war coming up. Like there's a new protocol standard by Runes by Casey Rodimer, who was the creator of ordinals. And that's coming out, but we don't really mind, right? Like, because I think the end user, like the way I think the fungible token standards will work on Bitcoin is there will be ways to make these things interoperable in different ways, right? So you'll have BRC20, which I kind of think has a lot of traction. It's already on a lot of centralized exchanges. And so the way you often see innovation play out is that the first thing with product market fit and traction is very hard to dislodge. So I think it may play out like a VHS Betamax market. But at the end of the day, no one really cares, right? Like say Runes takes over and BRC20 becomes less useful for different feature reasons or whatever. I don't think it really matters, because what people care about are fungible tokens on Bitcoin. And all the people who are able to build on BRC20 are also able to just switch and go, we can build on Runes, or we can build here, or we can build there. So it's, I think, super exciting. And what you just need is the ecosystem that gets anointed with traction, and that will become the breakaway thing that everyone doubles down on.
To continue watching the rest of the episode for free, visit our website londonreal.tv or click the link in the description below.